DeLauder, high fly ball, right field, it's deep. Rayleigh's back at the wall, he leaps, he can't get it. Chase DeLauder with a home run in his season. And now Chase DeLauder, goodbye, deep right field, into the lane it goes, and it's 6-4 Guardians.
Buckeye Sports Night.
This is pretty deep.
Are you ready? We are ready. Are you ready? We are ready. You are ready. No. Will and Ed in the chair. You already know. From off-season grind to that postseason glow. We talk all sports all the time. Better than this guy. From the whole time to the rest of the globe. Sports night for the guys, for the crew. Just topics on the table. We come straight to you. Nothing off limits. Every cake, every show. Don't just listen, join me. Are you ready? Let's go.
Greetings, everybody. Welcome to Guys Night. And you know what? We got a lot going on tonight. We're going to get into that for you. First of all, congratulations to the Cleveland Browns, who tried to mortgage the next 5 years of draft picks and immediately got ghosted by the rest of the NFL. Reality is mock drafts are changing faster than insiders can leak their so-called sources. We've officially crowned a pro cheer league champion. That's a real thing. And baseball's back. And we're going to ask the only question that really matters, Ed, and that is, did the Guardians hit a home run to start the season?
They did, yes.
What's going on, brother? How you doing tonight?
Yes. What's going on, Will? How we doing this evening? I'm doing all right, man. I'm doing all right. I'm trying to get acclimated to this diet. You know, me and you were talking. Me and you want to get the summer body a little shredded prior to, you know, being able to take our shirt off and not look down and go, oh, look, there's all the ice cream me and you decided to eat after every show in the month of December, January, and February.
Yeah, you know what? There's nothing wrong with a little bit of flurries mixed with some Reese's Pieces and Oreos until spring comes and you realize that it's still in your body.
Well, the problem is it wasn't just Reese's Pieces. It was a lot of Taco Bell, hot and mild sauce on the chicken chalupas and what is it, the chicken gordita crunches that we've had. I don't know.
Little chicken quesadilla.
What's your go-to? What's your go-to at Taco Bell?
I am a chicken quesadilla, bean burrito, and crunchy taco supreme kind of guy.
Okay,
that's my go-to order, which at one point in time was like $7, and now it's like $15.
Yeah. And you want to know what the worst part of it? The quality of the food has gone downhill significantly. It's just as bad. I'm of the belief that some of the meat isn't real. Not all of it, some of it, mostly the beef. The chicken, I think, is real. The beef, I don't think is real.
Really? What do you think they're putting in there?
A lot of soy.
Cattle.
Just the worst of it.
When I say cattle, I meant meow.
Cat. You think they're taking like household animals?
I mean, you know what? Anything to save a buck, dude.
I mean, it could be deer meat. I mean, it could be really.
I don't know. I think it's real. Taco Bell, we love you.
No,
I'm gonna miss you. Actually, I haven't had Taco Bell all that much over the course of the winter. After volleyball games, we would go often, but we're getting way derailed and off subject.
You know, people do realize that we have lives out of the show.
Yeah,
we're trying over here
6 days a week. And speaking of trying, we are trying to put together a live show for draft night for the first round here. Be food, booze, good times.
When is the draft again?
April 28th, I believe. So we've still got about 3 weeks before Thursday.
Well, April 28th is 4 weeks away because it's the 31st. 4 times 7 is 28. Well,
there you go.
Okay, I'm just helping you out. I'm just trying to help you out here.
It's big boy math. Go ahead and like and subscribe if you guys are joining the podcast. If you're watching us new on the Guys Sports Night channel, I think we're up to a whopping 8 subscribers in our first 4 days of actually being a YouTube channel. But the Guys Night channel is doing well as well. It's up to about 4,000. So yeah, we got a lot going on. We talked about it in the beginning. Obviously, we'll start with the Cleveland Browns. They retracted their idea of trading 5 years into the future. Apparently, the rest of the league didn't think it was a good idea. Do you think it was because they didn't think it was a good idea because they were afraid they were going to hire a GM or a coach like John McDaniel, who's going to go crazy and trade like 5 years of first-round picks for Tim Tebow?
I really can't speak on the thoughts of anybody else. I just know that would create dumber and dumber trades to happen. And then me and you would be back here maybe 2, maybe 3 years later and go, let's review after the rule change now that the worst trades to come of this. And we'd be here now. They also redacted the contract for AJ Epinesa. You told me in the pre-show they're not going to sign him. Failed physical, and I don't see any reason as to why online.
Yeah, I mean, well, most of that stuff's going to stay private, just because of the fact that you don't want to ruin that guy's career, chances to go anywhere else. Although it's going to be pretty difficult to do so now. And failed physical because something small, it could be something significant. But either way, yeah. Took away that signing, and then also Andrew Berry kind of ruled out the idea of bringing MJ back. Martin Emerson Jr. coming back off of Achilles injury, I believe, from last camp. And frankly, with the addition of Tyson at the outside boundary corner and Denzel, neither of those guys are going to move to the slot. Emerson's not really a slot corner. He does better on the outside. So unfortunately, he wants to, I think it's more of a, it's not, we don't want him back. I think it's more he wants to get an opportunity to start or compete for a starter role, which is fine. But for him, if you know, the chance to play on one of the best defenses in the league with some of the best corners in the league, and I can only help your status, I would think, for next year. So hopefully MJ will get that stuff squared away. He'll be back with the Cleveland Browns. And we'll
was there any update on the whole Jim Schwartz fiasco? So he's not a coach now with us, obviously, but he's not down in Atlanta with Stefanski.
No, he resigned. So he's under contract. He could not, they did not let him out of his contract.
Okay. So it's the same thing. Like when a head coach leaves, it's kind of like the whole Sean Payton thing. Like you almost trade a contract. Yeah,
which Kevin Stefanski, if you're interested in blowing some fifth-round picks on, you know, shitty quarterbacks, perhaps you'd like to trade for Jim Schwartz. I think he could be available for a third-round pick.
Sure, why not? Well, he's already got the gang back together. He's got Tommy Reese. He's got Alex Van Pelt down there. It's him, and they're reigniting the whole thing.
Yeah, I'll be interested to see what they do.
And Brian Robinson, speaking of which, signed with Atlanta as well.
Oh, Brian Robinson Jr.
Yeah. I so it's there and Bijan. It's going to create a fantasy nightmare.
Tua as your quarterback. There's no rush to get Penix back, I hear. So it's going to be a shot for Tua, and that's a pretty good offense to build around Tua. I mean, Kevin Stefanski in a rollout play action, another left-hander. Maybe he'll want Dylan Gabriel down there too, just in case.
I mean, you know what? That sounds about like a Kevin Stefanski type of thing, man. So, all right, let's seriously roll into this.
Yeah, let's get into it.
I do think it's a bad idea that they rolled back the ruling. I'll say that much. I think they should let him trade 5 years in the future. Why not?
I mean, the idea of it is really the fact that, you know, it gives you that flexibility, and who doesn't want flexibility when creating a trade? Whether you're going for the home run and you're trying to trade 3 years in advance to get that player that you need, like a quarterback, like the Stafford trade, you know, or whatever, to get you over the finish line. Or you're a team like the Jets, the Browns, the Cardinals, who are currently in tank mode and probably just looking to capture future assets for their players. Because each year down the road, that draft pick becomes less valuable. In fact, I just saw Barry actually talked about it in his interview this weekend at the owners convention, where essentially next year's pick is worth a 1 round lesser value. So if, for instance, if you're getting a first round pick next year, that's like the equivalent of a second round pick this year, vice versa. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So the idea that you could, I mean, I don't know if that means that 5 years from now, the first round pick could be worth a 5th rounder or a 4th rounder 4 years from now, 3rd rounder 3 years, etc. I don't think it's quite that drastic at that longer term.
But as you get closer, then are you then reassessing the value of that then? I mean,
the current value of a draft pick is always the highest, right? Because you don't know who the draft class is going to be 3 years down the road, et cetera. I mean, look at all the guys that kind of planned for the 2026 year, like Barry, who drafted for an extra first round pick this year, probably thinking that Arch Manning or somebody was going to be there. They're not. And same thing with the Jets, who mortgaged quite a bit. Now, they were smart enough to go into the 2027 first round picks when they were talking with Indiana and Dallas about making trades. So,
that makes sense. No,
obviously, there's a benefit to it. I think, I know it. Apparently, everybody thought it wasn't going to pass, and that might have been the case. That's a pretty insane rule for an NFL that's kind of stingent, not as stingent as, you know, Major League Baseball, where you can't even trade draft picks. But
there's a whole different component when it comes to draft picks in the MLB.
I want to get into that a little bit later when we get to the Guardians, because I do have some questions and I'm hoping you could answer them for me. But yeah, so the rules off the table. Draft is, 3-4 weeks away now.
It's the 23rd to the 25th.
Yeah, and we're going to get into our mock draft 4.0. So it is just over 3 weeks. So if you want to join us live in studio, hit us up, sports@guyssports or guysnight.com, night with a K. And
did you just forget your own YouTube title?
No, it's the email addresses. They get so confusing. There's so many of them.
What do you get your work, personal, and this?
Yeah. Speaking of confusing, if you don't want to be confused about who the Guys Night channel is, you can get your very own chopping board made just like that from Why Not Solutions, one of our sponsors, premier woodworking company here in Burbank, Ohio. And anything that you're looking for, they can have it custom made. They do it one by one, and they make sure that they put their hands on everything. So
what else does he do besides boards?
I mean, really anything you can do. He's going to help us with the table. So
I knew that
the upcoming table is going to be pretty awesome.
He does a lot of stuff. Should we get a custom like cigar box?
Yeah, we actually talked about that. You know, some of the stuff that he does too over there at Why Not is they do like do you remember those dinosaurs where like you had to take the little pieces of wood out of the things and then you like built them and they were like little skeletons?
I don't know.
So there used to be these things and they still make them.
Yeah, it came in like a sheet.
Yeah, and you popped them all out and then you put it together.
Sorry.
It looked like dinosaurs. So they make all kinds of like 3D puzzles and stuff like that out of wood. Plaques. They do a lot of stuff for the military and veterans and stuff like that. If you're looking for a specific veteran plaque to memorize either your service or a loved one's, look them up. Why Not Solutions, link in the description. But yeah, so we're gonna get into our mock draft 4.0 here. But obviously, the one thing that happens every single day leading up to the draft, really from the day that the Super Bowl's over until now, is draft position changes on the daily. You know. What do you think about the rumors that Ty Simpson could go as early as 6 to the Cleveland Browns?
I don't buy it. I don't buy it at all.
I don't buy it. I think that they're trying really hard to get him up there into the first round after he came out when he could have stayed another year at Bama.
So no, what I think is ultimately, and I saw this online as well, it's whoever's talking about it, which is Darren Orlovsky, is really pushing really, really hard for this. And it's because Ty Simpson and Dan Orlovsky are signed to the same agency. So you can kind of imagine
read between the lines.
Yeah, there's definitely some. No, again, could Ty Simpson go in the first round? Maybe.
I mean, could Ty Simpson be in the second round too? I thought that was pretty interesting.
I didn't see that. I didn't know what he got.
Some ties to Monken. I don't remember what the ties are, but they're family friends or related or something to that nature. Which I think they're related actually. Yeah, go figure. Just what we need is another quarterback.
Again, I don't see a quarterback worth taking in this class. And we're going to get into the BPA versus fit situation here in a second.
Yeah.
But I don't want Ty Simpson anywhere near this team.
I 100% agree. I think that you're either Shedeur and you put every effort you can into making Shedeur successful. Because, you know, it's funny, as we all talk about the quarterbacks of 2027, let's not forget that a year ago, people were saying Shedeur was a top 2-3 pick. Now he slid to the 5th round. Who knows what all went into that? There's all kinds of rumors and talk about
a lot of speculation of his interviews.
Him telling teams he didn't want him to draft him. He didn't have an agent. Like so much went into that.
Didn't his dad represent him?
He didn't really. I guess. I mean, together maybe they kind of did a piss poor job of it. And there's obviously something that goes into being an agent and getting players ready, like we just talked about with Ty Simpson, right? Like they're going to be talking about Monroe Freeling, who before the combine was a late first round pick at the very best and undiscussed at all. Now he's being, you know, brought up as a potential for us at 6 just because he played left tackle and wasn't necessarily one of the top, you know, but anyway, so getting back into it, I don't know if that's what did it, but either way, Shedeur's still here. He showed some flashes last year. You have a new system coming in. Hopefully, at this point, they've addressed the offensive line, and they're going to address wide receiver and some targets in the draft.
Yep.
And hope maybe there's even potential trades. Barry's been known to make those 5th round trades for wide receivers, whether it be Jerry Jeudy or, you know, even going back to Amari Cooper, that paid off really well. So there's potential for them to do that, which would be a huge help for us, and could give Shedeur a chance to be successful this year. He could be our franchise quarterback. He's had 7 games to kind of show us. I'm not ready to write that possibility off. I'm still prepared that we might have to take one in 2027. I don't want to jeopardize that chance.
I'm fine with that.
But ultimately, like, let's not, you know, just give up and draft another quarterback right now that we have to then at the end of the year. What if we still don't know? Right?
Let me ask you this. What are you willing to sacrifice? Shit hits the fan, stuff goes wrong, season wasted again. You're up there and you want to grab the best possible quarterback. What are you willing to sacrifice for it?
Well, it depends. Honestly, it doesn't depend on anything. If I would give up everything.
Okay.
I mean, I just think about it. If what Cleveland Browns need is a quarterback that they go all in on and they commit. You know, I thought that was what we did with Baker. He had the injuries that final year before he got traded, and somebody decided that they were the smartest person in the room and took advantage of Houston shopping Deshaun Watson. That whole mess comes about. We're on the hook for $250 million guaranteed. he's supposedly going to get a shot. I think that's just smokescreen.
Yeah,
I think the idea that they're leveraging that out there is a couple of things. One, you don't want Shedeur to just think that he's walking into camp with a starter role already assigned to him.
But
right?
we all kind of know he already is.
To a degree. He's going to definitely start off with the starter reps, I would imagine, because that's where it ended out last season. But I don't see any way, because here's the thing, and I heard it on 92.3 The Fan and some other ones. If Deshaun wins you 7, or let's say he wins you 9 games and Shedeur wins you 6, which one are you better off with? Well, if you won 9, you, what we said, stuck in purgatory. You probably didn't make the playoffs, and now you're going to have a question of, do we give him an extension? How well did he play to get those 9 wins? If Shedeur wins 6, you can still take your shot at the quarterback next year and not worry about it. It's not costing you anything. You're not at a loss. So I don't think there's any chance that Shedeur's not the starting quarterback for at least 14 games this year.
Honestly, I'm going to level with you here completely. I'm so sick and tired of talking about this team. I've kind of just gotten to like my boiling point with it. Like we can go around constantly talking about, what they can do and stuff like that. And that's fine. We continue to but like, until they really start proving to me that they're like moving in the right direction and they're not just putting Band-Aids over wounds that need stitches, I'm really just sick of giving this team the time of day in my life. Yeah,
I get that, but you look back to it, dude. Think about this team was like 3 plays away from going to the AFC Championship
but they
game.
Didn't.
Well, hold on a second. But not only did they didn't make those plays, right? Whether it be the Hollywood play at the half, the Chad Henne running for a first down on 3rd and 19, just whatever didn't happen. Either way, that was a team that was right there with the Super Bowl champion.
Yeah.
And then the next year, Baker gets hurt, right? Was it the following year that he got hurt? Or
no, it was that follow-up season, because I think it was when we added Clowney to that. I think it was after. It's somewhere within, but I know what you're saying.
Either way, shit went wrong. Baker's injured. Then we go out and no, it was the next year he got injured because he was off and all that season. Then the next year we realize he has a bad season. He's injured. We go out for Deshaun. That's 2022. Deshaun doesn't play that year at all. I think, or maybe he plays like 2 of the last 6 games. Nick Chubb gets hurt the following year. Like, it's just every year it just piles on, and then before you know it, your team's 4 years older. And now you're on the last 5 years of Myles Garrett. You're on the last 3 years probably of Denzel Ward. Your offensive line is all young again now, but your defensive line is going to start aging. And you're going to need to start replenishing.
Vice versa on that. Your defensive line is young. Your offensive line is aging.
No, you just signed everybody you signed, I think, was in their 20s.
No. Elton Jenkins is 30.
Yeah, well, 30 still. I mean, Myles Garrett's 30 on your defensive line. Malik Collins is 31. Yeah. You've got 2 guys that are under 30, I think, on it, other than
Mason Graham.
Yeah, and
Cameron Thomas was at
Cameron Thomas. Cameron Thomas.
Well, he signed somewhere else. I'm saying Alex Wright, Cameron Thomas, Michael Hall.
Wright just signed an extension. Hall is on his 3rd year, which means he'll be due for an extension if they're going to.
I'm not going to give it to him.
I mean, who knows how he plays? We'll find out. But either way, yeah, I mean, they're always 1 play away. They always make the mistake that gets them off track. Then they trade away 3 first-round picks who could have turned into a whole lot of stuff. And then let's translate that into drafts. Instead of taking Jedrick Wills, they could have went best player available and
Tristan Wirfs.
They could have went with Wirfs. They could have had Justin Jefferson on their team. They could have had CeeDee Lamb on this team. We could not need a number 1 receiver right now.
Oh my God, I forgot about that.
Yeah, I mean, it's every year.
I forgot that was that draft.
I mean, you could go through best player available. The year that they drafted Baker, they could have drafted Saquon, and then they could have drafted a quarterback at number 4, which could have been Josh Allen.
Oh my God!
Right? Could you imagine having Saquon Barkley?
Has a running back ever gone number 1 overall?
I don't know. I'd be willing to bet there has to be.
You know what I think? There's never been a cornerback that has gone number 1 overall.
No, Deion went number 1 overall to the Falcons, I think. Either he went number 1 or he went number 2. Yeah. Either way, best player available that same year that we didn't take Justin Jefferson or CeeDee Lamb. We didn't take Jordan Love either, who was drafted that year in the 1st round.
Oh my! Well, that's fine. Jordan Love.
2017, you took Miles over Trubisky. That's best player available. That worked out well for
100%.
you. We had the 12th pick that year.
You technically could have drafted Mahomes.
Well, hold on. That's what I was going to say. We had the 12th pick that year. Mahomes was drafted at 10. You know who was at 12? Deshaun Watson.
Yeah.
So realistically, you could have had Mahomes, or you could have had Watson way back then for 3 less first-round picks. Instead,
Deion Sanders was the 5th overall pick.
Instead, you traded down to the Texans and got Julius Peppers, who then you kicked out of town when you did the Odell trade.
No,
what?
No, you're getting this wrong. Julius Peppers never played here.
I'm sorry, not Julius Peppers.
You're thinking of Jabril?
Jabril Peppers.
Yeah, traded in New York with the third and the first.
Yeah, to get Odell. But that was the same year as Watson and Mahomes. So you went from 12 down to 17 to pick.
They could have also taken, honestly, because that draft that was Garrett, Jabril, and David Njoku. You could have drafted. Yeah. You could have drafted Mahomes.
Yeah.
Justin Jefferson wasn't in that draft.
No, that's a different one.
TJ Watt and I forget who else. I'm drawing a blank on that.
There's
that
quite
class.
a few stars in that class. Njoku worked out. If you would have had Njoku and you would have traded instead of having Jabril Peppers, you would have had Patrick Mahomes, Myles Garrett, and freaking Njoku. Oh shit. So that goes down to the best player available. So let's talk about this. The big talk right now is everybody's saying at 6, you either take a wide receiver or you take an offensive tackle.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. At offensive tackle and wide receiver,
they're both a need, though.
They're a need, but there's not a player on the board who we would say is a number 6 worthy wide receiver or tackle if we didn't need one.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not in love with any of these wide receivers, to be honest with you. I like my biggest fan that I like, is who I personally believe is most complete, is Omar Cooper Jr. in the later half of the first round. But
I just saw him mocked to the Ravens at 14. Actually,
yeah, he's moving up boards.
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to be there at 20. I don't think he's going to be there at 24.
No.
I'm interested to see. And could you pull up my draft? Because we might as well just move into this as well.
Well, hold on. Before we do that, we're going to move into the draft. We're talking about the values, though.
I don't see an offensive lineman there for us that can fill left tackle, because your left tackle spot's the only spot open left.
Right.
You're not moving Titus Howard there. You're not moving Alton Jenkins there.
We're going to get into the draft, and we'll talk about this argument as wide receiver, tackle, or do you just take the best player available? I think I'm more the best player available, but has running back value changed?
Yeah.
Like, again, is it back?
In terms of like they're like super, super valuable?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Because you got to look. All right. So if you remember, like when Nick Chubb was tearing it up, no pun intended. Ouch.
Brutal. Ow.
No, but when Nick Chubb was tearing it up,
yep,
he was refusing to take a smaller deal, not necessarily because he didn't want to, but because he didn't want to hurt the other running backs. That was at a point like 19, 20, 22. That was at a point where like running backs were starting to get degraded. There were no first round picks. In fact, there was no first round running back taken. Where's my notes? In 22 or 2024. But now you have what's the running back out of Notre Dame? Love's name being talked about? Is it
Jeremiah Love?
Jeremiah Love.
And Jadarian Price, too, his backup.
Yeah, but Jeremiah Love's talking. They're talking about him possibly being a top 5 pick. You had Gentry go at 6, I think, last year. Genty. Did I say Gentry?
Yeah.
Oh, Montgomery. You had Bijan Robinson, and then you had Jahmyr Gibbs, right? So you had all these guys go in the first round over the last couple of years, and then you had Kenneth Walker Jr., who was a split carry back, just get $15 million a year from Kansas.
I can't believe that. Yeah, Kansas City. He got 3 years, $45 million. I can't believe that personally.
So now that you hear him talking about Jeremiah Love, it's like, man, is the value of running backs there again? Like, I mean, obviously he's like 210, runs a 4.3 40, and he's quick.
I got to be honest with you, since I have no realistic chance of seeing him in a Cleveland Browns uniform, I've kind of stayed away from it. I really avoided not giving guys that I don't think are going to be there at 6 or just wouldn't fit the team by nature any kind of attention. And it's not to disrespect the player, of course, but if my team is picking top 6, they're projected top 5. What do I care?
Well, it's just interesting because he floats everywhere, right? Like, I think just a month ago he was like a top 14 back, but then obviously, or top 14 player. But then when he runs that 4.3 40, all of a sudden everybody starts salivating over him. And I don't see the value, but it's interesting to hear people have the arguments with best player available if Cleveland at 6 would take Jeremiah Love.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, you've got Quinn Sean and you've got Dylan Sampson. He could be kind of a mix of both, maybe, but at the same point, why did you draft 2 running backs the year before?
Yeah.
Do you take a third? What does that actually have you do? I just think it's interesting that that's actually something that there's guys contemplating right now, that he could be there at 6 and that'd be something available. But,
I don't think that's a realistic fit.
All right, let's pull up your mock draft there, Ed. So we're on mock draft 4.0, ladies and gentlemen. If you've got a mock draft or you think
are we going to be doing 5.0, 6.0? Are we going to just do everything up until the start of the draft?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So we'll get up to like 8.
Okay.
0.0. Okay. All right. All right.
Fair. I just want to brace the people.
Brace yourself.
3, 2, 1, bang. Okay, so when you look at this,
I don't have your trades in here. Talk to me about how you ended up at 15.
So I screenshotted this here, so I just want to just grab this here.
Now, did you approach these teams or did they approach you?
They offered me.
Ooh.
Okay.
Juicy.
So pretty much all it is I traded from 6 to 9 for the Kansas City Chiefs. I imagine they went up and got Mansour Delane. They need a corner of some kind.
Oh, so you like Mansour Delane when the Kansas City Chiefs are getting.
Well, they don't have Trey. They don't have Trey Murphy anymore. Or not Trey Murphy.
Trent McDuffie.
Trent McDuffie. Thank you.
Same thing.
No, not really. Trey Murphy plays for the New Orleans Pelicans. Trent McDuffie plays for the Rams now. But I got offered 9 and 40, and I said absolutely. So I traded down there, and then at pick 9, I got pick 15 and 46. So I essentially traded pick 6 to go down to 15 and get 40 and 46 as well. So I moved down 9 spots and got 2 inside the top 50. Okay. So I 100% took that. So with being there at 15, I took Makai Lemon. Everybody keeps saying it wrong just as much as I do. He was the best kind of player that would fit the team on the board. I know you're a big USC guy, so I know you can appreciate that.
I'd love to have Makai Lemon on this team.
24. Again, it just fits there. He sat there. He was ranked 28. I'm at 24. I took him. Omar Cooper Jr.
Now, interesting. So before we get into your second round, as you do these mock.
Oh.
All right, there.
All right.
Apparently, it's books on demand.
Wow. Okay, then. All right.
As you
scared me for a second. I thought someone was like in the closet.
There's like an Englishman I got locked away.
There's a closet on the side door right there.
So as you do these mock drafts,
yeah,
I think the first round is kind of standard, right? Like where we're picking, like the same people are there, maybe 1 or 2 changes.
Yeah.
Are you noticing the second round starting? Do you go by consensus, or are you doing PFSN, or how?
PFSN.
Okay, I do consensus. So I was just gonna say, like, I've noticed the last couple of times I've gotten the second round, I wasn't happy with anybody that was available, and I find myself revisiting the idea of trades. We'll talk about that next. As far as trades that might be available for the Browns, if I'm Cleveland, I think that second round pick can be traded for a veteran receiver. Like, it's got to be on the table for sure, because I just don't think the value's there in the second round. But we'll see. Go ahead with your picks here. You got 39.
So I took Traden Stukes. Really good player, really good athlete. 4.33 speed, 10.10 broad jump. It's good size, good weight. Another corner that I think can fit really, really well into this group. Have you seen any tape on this kid?
No, I haven't watched him at all.
I would advise you to just, again, watch some tape on him. I think he's a really good athlete overall. I'm really impressed with him. I think he can stick at corner. If you want to put him at safety, you can. Great.
Does he fit the man-to-man scheme? Does he play a lot of press coverage at Arizona, though, or are they more zone coverage?
You cannot ask a baseball player those types of questions. I have no idea what you're asking me. You're now turning me into the chick at the car dealership where I goes, oh, I like this one. Why? Because it's nice and shiny.
It's got cup holders.
Yeah, it's got cup holders and leather seats, and I could totally fit all my girlfriends in there. I have no idea. I don't know the scheme fit that they ran over there. But again, moving down at 40, I got Emmanuel Pregnon. Guard depth, I'm still not a believer in Zion Johnson. I know Tevin Jenkins can't stay healthy from time to time. And depending on what you want to do with Titus Howard, that'll obviously play into effect there. Again, Elton Jenkins as well. We also moved into Sam Heitch. I think I'm saying that name right. Hetch out of Kansas State. He's a center. Depth, can't have enough of it, especially when you have a little bit of an older group, some inconsistent guys. If they go down, you can plug and play these guys there. Linebacker Jake Golday out of Cincinnati. He started at, I believe he started at Ohio State. It was either him or Joe Royer.
Joe Royer.
Yeah, he started at Ohio State.
Ohio State.
Yep. Thank you. I always mix these two up here. But good linebacker depth. Same thing as we get down the board. Bud Clark, depth linebacker. Joe Royer, rotational tight end. He didn't have any drops last season.
No.
Didn't have any drops at all.
That's impressive.
Didn't have a ton of receptions and wasn't targeted too heavily. But when he was, it was awesome. And then Jayshon Barham. And then I traded the last 2 7th-rounders for a Cincinnati 7th-rounder later on just next year. I'm like, you're not going to draft 10 players and expect all of them to make the team. So I just said, hey, I'm just kicking the can. Give me a 7th-rounder. You guys can have 2 7th-rounders later as well.
Wow. Okay.
So a lot of this, again, past pick 70, it's all or even at 70 and down, it's really just depth pieces that could fit in, plug and play. They're guys that ultimately they're not going to probably start they're going to rotate in there from time to time, but they're decent to have. There's good upside in all these guys. The only problem that I have, and I don't want to get too far ahead of myself when I talk about these guys, because we do have some sleeper picks that we'll talk about a little later. So I'll touch base on them.
All right. So it's funny when you look at that. I love the first 2 picks because they address the wide receiver in the room, the wide receiver need in the room. And you got 2 really good run after the catch guys. You got 2 guys that can make plays, run great routes. No height. That's the only downside to them both, I think, because the wide receivers we have. Judy, I don't know what he'll do. And then you've got Tillman, which I think he'll stay on there for another year, but he'll be gone. So you're missing that 6'3", 6'4", 6'5" receiver. But I'll have to look into trading Stoops to see how he plays. I like Emmanuel Pregnon. He's been on my board a couple of different times where I've picked him up.
If he's just there, like there's no point in not taking him. Like it's a great. I mean, people want to crap on the fact that it's a guard or it's an offensive lineman. Like, who really cares? It's not this flashy player. If the best player on the board is right then and there, I want you to take him because I'm going to be happy with the fact that this O-line is going to be rebuilt because then Shador feels more comfortable and can play better.
Yeah, it's interesting as you look at this, right? And you see the different ways that things are being put together. I'm starting to look at players in that 3rd and 4th round, and you got to start to see where the real hard work comes as far as the scouting department goes, as far as the GM's job, right? As far as being able to kind of dictate that draft board. And Barry said, starting next week, really this week, beginning of April is when they start kind of doing their ideas on where guys are going to go. They'll start doing their personal mocks and kind of figuring out where they think the board's going to fall. And it's interesting to do that because every time I've done a mock draft online, and don't get me wrong, I've done 7 or 8 or 9 at a time. Everything changes across the board. So I'll pull up mine. Mine is kind of a little crazy. So for those who are listening, make sure that you guys like, subscribe, follow. Love to hear your complaints. Love to hear everybody have their own kind of ideas on what they would do for their mock draft. But my original mock draft was actually not my current pick at 6. I actually had Mansour as my cornerback pick at number 6 because I have this weird feeling that Barry's going to do something off the wall at 6. And I was like,
in drafting a cornerback 3 in an already talented room.
So if you've watched Mansour's tape, he plays a tight one-on-one coverage. He was in the mid-90s through PFF rankings all year round. Easily in game 1 versus Clemson proved that he is the best cornerback in college football right now. Great size, 6'1", 200. He's a hell of a tackler, sure tackler. I mean, so the potential of, we talked about Denzel and how many years he had left. At that point, if I was drafting him at 6, I could look at moving from a 3rd round pick or even moving a 3rd round pick next year along with Denzel to maybe get an extra 1st round pick, maybe in that 16 to 18 range where I might find my left tackle. Because I mean, if you have Sauce Gardner last year managing 2 1st round picks and a 4th, if I can give up a 3rd and Denzel and get back into the 1st, the value's there for it for the team that needs a corner.
Would you take like 33 and 34, like the just outside the top, just outside the inside, or
what,
just
straight
outside?
Up?
No, you take your Denzel and you take the 3rd rounder and pick 33 or 34.
You're saying that I give up a 3rd of mine and Denzel for just a high 2nd rounder?
Yeah, it could border. It's pretty much borderline still the 1st round.
I think you're more likely to get some. I think you can get yourself into the 17 to 20 range.
I don't realistically see that happening.
I think you're getting a contender who needs a cornerback to be a playoff contender, like Detroit. I think that Detroit would be the ideal situation. If you called up Detroit and said, "Hey, I'll give you a 3rd rounder in 2027 and Denzel Ward for 17," I think they make that. Because he's better than any quarterback they're going to get in the draft, and they have.
I mean, the Terrion Arnold situation is kind of fucked up. So yeah,
but either way, I don't know if that would even be a case. But that's what my original plan was. But I forgot to actually make the trade, so I went ahead and redid my draft, and I'm sticking with Caleb Downs. I need a leader on this defense that's going to, especially in the secondary. I think that Caleb Downs is a guy who can play in the box. He can play it deep. He can play the coverage on the zones. He's a sure tackler. I cannot see him miss tackles at all.
Oh my God. I just saw, wait. I just saw your trade to the bottom left corner.
Hold on. Wow. Easy. We'll get to that. We're going to get to that. All right. So don't, I had to hide it there so that you don't get too excited. At number 24, guy who constantly shows up is Blake Miller, tackle out of Clemson. Solid tackle, had a good win percentage, only gave up 2 sacks last year. I don't know if he's going to be there at 39 or if he's going to be that first round pick. But the more and more I looked at 24, I didn't see the value there at any other position.
Strongsville, Ohio boy.
Is he really?
Yeah, went to Strongsville High School.
I mean, that just makes even more sense. Number 39, I called up Arizona, and I'm still obsessed with trying to trade for Marvin Harrison Jr. I think 39 is what gets you that pick right now. He's kind of low value and it's kind of surprising, but if I could get that, now I've fixed my wide receiver and my tackle position, and I got the best player available at 6 with Caleb Downs. Number 44. So here's what happened. At number 33, the New York Jets drafted Ty Simpson.
Okay.
As soon as I saw that, I hit pause and I was like, well, if they drafted Ty Simpson, they don't need a quarterback next year. Who drafts their quarterback at 33? And, you know, he's their guy. So I said, all right, well, if that's the case.
It's terrible logic thinking, but okay.
If that's the case.
Who doesn't need their quarterback after 1 year of it not working out?
What is the best way to give a solid rookie quarterback success? And I told myself the best way to do that would be to put him in a chance to win. So I traded Myles Garrett to the Jets for 44 and 103, so a second and a fourth, and 2 2027 first-round picks. I chose the Colts and the Jets first-round pick. I didn't ask them for the third one. I thought that was 1, 2027 picks are high value right now. 2, I'm getting an extra second-rounder this year, so 2 first, a second, and a fourth. According to draft value, I'm low on draft value.
I was going to say, yeah, that's a little low.
I could have thrown something else in there. I looked at this as like I'm getting 2 first-round picks in 2027, which are highly coveted right now. Myles Garrett, I love you. I hate to see you go, but this was just too good to pass up.
I don't care.
Next year, now I'm sitting with 3 first-round picks, all potentially in the top 15. I'm in line to get my quarterback, and if I don't need a quarterback, there's Jeremiah Smith, there's Colin Simmons out of Texas,
plenty of other players.
If I don't need a quarterback because Shador sets the world on fire this year, and I have the first overall pick, I can go ahead and get 3 more first-round picks because somebody will trade up for that first-round pick and give me the moon. We'll see what happens.
So you finally are on the train with me of trading Myles Garrett.
I'm not on it unless it has to make sense. I don't want a first-round pick I don't want Buffalo's first-round pick for the next 3 years. I don't want the Rams' first-round pick for the next 3 years. I want extra first-round picks next year, and I need them now because that changes the whole focus of the rest of my draft. Number 44, after I make that trade, number 44 with the Jets pick, I take Anthony Hill Jr., linebacker out of Texas.
I'm going to stop you and just tell you your logic is stupid.
Why?
The Jets draft Ty Simpson at 33.
Yeah.
And your initial thought is, oh, they don't need it. Their first rounder next year. They have their guy.
Yeah.
No.
Why would they draft a quarterback if they're going to throw all their eggs in the basket for a quarterback
next year?
Yeah.
Well, what if he stinks? What if Ty Simpson doesn't work out and they need that first rounder to draft a quarterback?
Well, what if they've done their
we're
taking a quarterback at 33 and they actually didn't take him?
Jets. Okay.
Yes, which means it doesn't matter who their quarterback is, he's going to suck. Right?
Exactly. So they want their first rounder next year so they can draft another quarterback.
I'm telling you right now, dude, I think if they took a quarterback this year, they wouldn't take down the New York Jets having Myles Garrett. That's like football freaking just media dream. They'd all be excited.
That is Myles Garrett's worst nightmare. I think he wakes up in a pile of cold sweats.
Well, I don't know that Myles would necessarily go over there, but hey, he would be paired up alongside Arvell Reese. Because that's who the Jets took at number 2.
Okay.
So Arvell Reese and Myles Garrett on the defensive line, dude.
They don't. Wow. You mean a rookie that Myles Garrett has to pretty much reteach
everything? And then at 16, they got Mekhi Lemon. So they had Mekhi Lemon,
Garrett Wilson
at wide receiver,
Ty Simpson
be their quarterback, and then they've got Myles Garrett and freaking Arvell Reese. That's terrible. That's good bones. That's good bones.
Yeah.
That's good bones. Yeah. Anyhow, back to my mock draft. You're ruining it for me.
Sorry, but
Anthony Hill Jr., while I was looking at second round picks, this was just a guy that I started watching his tape, and dude, this dude flies sideline to sideline like nobody's business. Him alongside Schlesinger would be so disgusting.
It's gross.
Especially with the news that, it looks like we're not going to see JOK ever again here in Cleveland, which is like the saddest thing ever. Anthony Hill Jr., I think, plays a role with that side-to-sideline tackle ability. Still, and by the way, great blitzer. Had like a 40% blitz success rate. So, number 70, Zachariah Branch, still hooked on putting a slot receiver with return skills. I'm tired of us trying to find third-rate returners and just be like, bring them in, and they always blow out either their Achilles, they get their knees injured, they can't catch the ball, they fumble the football. I want a guy who can return punts for the next 6 years.
Are you referring to Anthony Schwartz?
No, not even. Well, Schwartz was one of them, but then you had
Jakeem Grant.
No, was it Jakeem Grant?
Yeah, we signed him from the Dolphins, and he ended up tearing his ACL
twice.
Yeah, back-to-back years.
Yeah, and then I forget who we signed
that
last
man got
year.
paid $16 million to do nothing.
Well, tear ACLs, not anybody else.
If someone paid you $16 million and you tore both your ACLs, would you be happy?
I mean, I'd be happy with $16 million. So
okay,
yeah,
well then
I can't say I would complain. Now, if I wanted to make $20 million, I'd be disappointed. I can't make that again.
Tough.
Anyway, Zachariah Branch is a return specialist. Kicks, punts, doesn't matter. 4.3 speed, great slot receiver, can play in the screen. I mean, he's just got a lot of places on the field that he could bounce around and be at. Next at 83, this guy is like, he's all over on draft boards. He can be as high as 60. He could be low in the 90s. I don't know how to pronounce his first name. Danny Dennis Sutton.
Yeah, Danny Dennis Sutton.
11 plus sacks at Penn State. The year that he was there with who was drafted, Abdul Carter last year.
Yes.
That dude had more pressures than Carter did last year for Penn State. He is so fast off the ball. And I was like, man, this guy's kind of exciting. I think he's going to end up being like one of those picks where like the Jaguars pick him in the early second round. And you're like, what? But he was there in my mock draft. So I took him. Another surprise, Derek Moore out of Michigan, another defensive end. I believe he had 10 sacks last year for Michigan.
A defensive unit for Michigan, as much as I hate them, I have to give them a lot of credit.
A lot of pressure.
Jayshon Barham, Derek Moore, Jimmy Roller. I mean, it's a lot of good talent right there.
I mean, he had a defensive head coach there for years,
Yeah.
So makes sense. Sorry.
Next pick, Bell.
Dude, Markel Bell out of Miami.
Is that a D tackle or is that an offensive
tackle?
Offensive tackle.
Left tackle. He is my dun. He's going to actually, not to give it away, but he is my gem of the draft for this week.
Okay.
So we're going to get into some details on him. And then my last one is Eric Gentry. You know when they say a poor man's so-and-so in this sport?
Yep.
This is Sonny Styles from the West Coast, dude. 6'6", almost 6'7", 230, 4.4 speed, played safety / linebacker / defensive end for USC. He's going to be a 7th round pick because of his tackling. He kind of gets, it's not that he can't tackle. He just gets beat up in the hole quite a bit. Like he's there, but he gets beat up. I mean, 6'6", 6'7", 225. He's like a string bean running around there.
Just for context, I'm 6'1" and 220.
Yeah.
5.
So add 7 inches, and then all of a sudden you'd have a 6-pack. Damn it.
I knew that was a secret.
I'm going to do a little bit more homework on Eric Gentry because he's there in the 7th round along with Damani Jackson, who we talked about last year. But anyhow, athletically gifted, very similar to Sonny Styles. Sonny Styles is a better ball player up on the ball, but they have some of the same weaknesses. Like they do a lot of arm tackles. They get caught off guard a little bit because of their height when they're coming up against like guards and things like that on inside blitzes.
Yeah.
So we'll see how they played out. But yeah, that's how my draft started out. Unfortunately, Myles Garrett is gone, but I think we're building for the future. Put some pass rushers in there to make sure that we can build up that defense. Anthony Hill, we've got a wide receiver, tackle. And you got Caleb Downs in the backfield. So I think this team's built to start making things happen. We're going to see how this pans out, though, because I might draft it almost exactly like this on Madden.
You still play Madden?
I do. Who doesn't play Madden, dude?
Me. I haven't touched a video game since 2016.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
It's okay.
Hey, I appreciate you guys following. Make sure you like, subscribe, check out the channel. We've got more stuff coming up. Yeah, that was a quick mock draft 4.0 for us. We're moving along pretty quickly here, but let me get into
we've got a lot of good content though.
Yeah, I think so. I think the fans are happy. Make sure you guys comment with actually we've got a comment right here. Glad to be here, guys. Hey, we are happy to hear you. Good morning, mechanic.
Shout out to Good Morning Mechanic.
Good Morning Mechanics been on the show before. If you guys haven't checked them out, they're in the middle of the community car build over at Wingman Garage in Wadsworth, Ohio. Wingman Garage, been on the show. They are a garage where if you are a young man, woman that lives in an apartment, doesn't have the garage space, maybe don't even necessarily know how to work on your cars, you can go there. They have all the tools you need, and Aaron, the owner, is actually there to be a hands-on helper. So you rent out the bay, you get the tools included, you even get the help of the owner there if you need to help doing brakes, things like that. And Good Morning Mechanic is doing an episode. They're doing a community car build. So if you ever have interest, what they do is they have cars donated to them, and they do routine maintenance, brakes, tires, check out the thing. They have the whole community. Anybody's welcome to come in. So if you don't know what you're doing, you just want to watch somebody work on cars, learn something new. It's like hanging out with your dad in the shop with a bunch of guys, young kids, all that stuff are there. They build these cars up, but then at the end of the year, they do a giveaway. And last year it was a kind of a what do you call it when you have the scavenger hunt? We went all over Medina County, basically having to find like all these random things, which finding cars from the 80s was like one of the toughest things. And then the first one back, we came in, I think, third place. We almost won a free Jeep Wrangler. I know.
Damn.
Hopefully next time. So if you're new to the channel and you haven't heard them, make sure you check them out on the Guys Night podcast, Wingman Garage, Good Morning Mechanic. Shout out to those guys for always supporting us. Now, we try to do the same for them.
When you say it's like I'm back in the garage with my dad, is there a guy there?
For a guy whose dad was in the garage.
That was my father. However, I'm saying for myself in this instance, is there the guy there that stands there with the light pointing at purposely the wrong spot so I can go, damn it, I said this. Hold it right there.
There's that guy, and then there's the other guy who says, that's not what I said when I said bring me a screwdriver.
You actually threw shit at me.
Well, people were watching. He couldn't fake it to make it, dude.
No, he did not. He did not fake it.
Ow. All right, guys, we're gonna get into our gems of the week. For those listening, tuning in, we appreciate it. Thank you very much.
I appreciate the method acting here, Will, but damn, I just wasn't expecting it.
All right, so who is up? I've got dun 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 dun. Let's see how we can do this here.
Can you do the intro? Can we get the music?
There's no music. There's no music for these yet. We need a segment entrance. All right, Markel Bill, 6'9", 356 pounds, 36-inch plus arm length, dude. This dude still runs a 5.3 40. You know who he reminds me of? Longest Yard? No, I'm sorry. God, I can't believe I just said that. What's the one with the left tackle ended up going to Baltimore? They made a movie.
Oh, that's oh, jeez.
Gosh, I can't believe
Michael Orr.
Yeah, Michael.
The Blind Side. The
yeah,
Blind Side.
So this guy reminds me of The Blind Side. 0-star recruit out of high school, played 2 years at JUCO. Then gets a bunch of offers from like Auburn, Florida, Miami is where he ends up going. He's played over 1,000 snaps at Miami and not given up a sack.
Holy shit.
Damn. This is the guy, and I was trying to find some video of it, and I ran out of time today, but this is the guy that basically kept Arvell Reese from being a factor at all in that game. Obviously, he's going to have some issues at 6'9". They talk about the fact that if you have a defense, like if he's going against Myles Garrett, he's getting smoked.
100%.
When it comes to the bend and things like that, he's going to get beat on the outside. But talked about he's done a great job with his technique. He's been on an upward trajectory since he's been with them. Pass blocking is phenomenal, but his double down techniques on run block is just clears lanes like nobody's business. If you guys watch Miami in the playoffs, you know what he's talking about. But he's just got this crazy size about him. And I was like, if you're taking him in the 5th round, you know what it reminds me of is he could be a DeJuan Jones.
Yeah, I was just going to say,
like you might just get that guy that, you know, does really, really well. And hopefully, unlike DeJuan Jones, isn't injured all the time. So that was my gem of the week. Let's talk about who you've got up here, Ed.
Yeah, I got Joe Royer up here.
No, that's not Joe Royer.
Markel Bell.
Do I have him? Wait a minute.
Here, click the.
There we go. There we go. Once again, if you're out there and you enjoy podcasts, you'd like to be a producer, be part of the show, we'd love to have you here to make sure you can control the board. We can just.
You know what we need to do? We need to start giving intern credits.
Intern? Can we do that?
I don't know.
Can we just say
are we
that
an official business?
Yeah, we are.
Okay,
an official
we can give
business.
intern credits.
We got an LLC.
Yeah, we can. Yeah. So for a young college student out there in the Kent, Akron, Cleveland State,
or would it be high school student?
No,
right?
you would need intern credits.
I mean, at college?
Yeah.
I didn't go to college, dude.
Oh, that's right. I always forget you didn't go to college. You went right in the military. But if you're a, if you're a young video major in the Kent, Akron, or Cleveland area.
Kent's got a radio broadcast communications department that's one of the best in the state. At
well,
least,
if they need additional credits here, we'd love to have you as an intern. We have everything set up for you here. We just need you to stay behind the camera and correct our fuck ups, please. Thank you. Now, as we were talking about here, who I got here, 4-star recruit, started at Ohio State, went on to Cincinnati. Joe Royer. He was a first team all Big 12 performer. Again, he's more or less projected in the 6th or 7th round. They like to give grades out on like a number scale, of where Joe Royer could be. It's a backup that could be an average starter.
Yeah,
and I don't think he's going to be anything crazy special. By all means, again, projections are projections for a reason. But if he's in the right system, guys that play 21 personnel, a lot of 12 personnel, he's going to be a great blocking tight end who can catch the football. Blocking is going to be his first and foremost love. Catching is going to be his next specialty. But again, he had no drops last season.
Yeah,
he had 4 touchdowns, not a ton of yards.
So when I was putting the graphic together, I pulled up some stuff. Like obviously, there's in there great catch radius, decent football IQ, handoff quarterback handoff. What's it called? Gosh, I'm trying to think of
hand-eye coordination,
safety valve for a quarterback.
Yeah.
Not athletically gifted by any stretch. Isn't going to run a 4.40 like Sadiq or anything like that, but he's got great size. He has the ability of sticking around. And when you're talking about 5th round picks, you're just finding guys that can fit on the roster, whether it's short term in special teams, long term being a 2nd or 3rd tight end. Let's not forget some of the Browns tight ends that they've had over the course of the year that were 2nd or 3rd tight ends ended up being actually big playmakers for us.
I really do think he could ultimately be a kind of like a an Austin Hooper.
Oh, digging deep. Well, Austin Hooper was garbage when he came here.
Yeah.
I think he just went
right in Atlanta.
Did I just say he's back in Atlanta, dude?
No, he was in Tennessee.
He just signed with somebody. I was kind of blown away, dude.
But overall, I mean, do I think he could be a decent performer in a pass heavy offense? I don't see him getting many feeds from the ball.
Yeah,
he's going to be a guy that sticks on there, but I think there's the talent there is something that you can't ignore. He's a great blocking tight end. He's, again, I kind of think of him almost like, oh man, who am I thinking of here? Help me out here. I'm gonna
tell me what team he plays for.
I know. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go late in bed tonight, and I'm gonna lay there, and at like 10:30 at night, I'm gonna close my eyes, and I'm gonna go, fuck, that's who I was thinking of, and I'm gonna text you about it.
I mean, not everybody thinks of men when they go to sleep, but if that's what gets you off, that's what gets you off, dude.
Stop doing that shit. Stop fucking doing that shit. No, I was thinking of fuck's sake. All right. Moving on.
Yeah, so let's move on. We went into the deep dives. Let's get into something a little bit more exciting. If you guys saw the beginning of the show, we talked about highlights. They had a little montage play. Did the Guardians find a diamond here at that 1st overall pick in 2024? It is or
he wasn't the first pick in 2024. That you're saying Travis Bazzana.
Yeah, sorry, I want to get into that too. But where did
Slaughter was picked in the 15th spot from James Madison University. Shout out Kirk Signetti, of course.
Yeah,
JMU guy. Yeah, he's a stud. Problem is he's never played more than 57 games in pro or college.
Yeah, well, it's interesting. He started off the season with 4 home runs, and he hadn't had more than a 7 or 8 at any of the years leading up the last 3 years in minor league ball. So it's interesting to see where it comes. And these weren't like blasts out of the park. I don't think we found ourselves a 50 home run guy here. I think he just connected really well. He's got a great swing.
No, he's got a fucked up swing.
It's he's short got a swing, though. Great for
a 3/4 swing.
Yeah, but
he starts inside and like stops right here.
Yeah,
like it's just a ding.
Yeah, we'll see what that brings.
Drives the ball both sides of the field.
Yeah, well, that was impressive because when he barely cleared the right field wall on 2 of those shots, the one that went opposite field, I was like, okay, so he's got some power. But either way, I mean, it's great to see the Guardians start out 3-2. They beat the Dodgers last night. I'm excited to watch tonight.
Did they beat the Dodgers last night? Yeah. I'm really pissed off with this MLB season because they keep putting games on Peacock.
Yeah,
they keep putting games on Apple TV, and I don't want to pay
the other
for
day.
it.
You need like 8 different subscriptions to catch every game that's on. I mean, I'm catching it like on YouTube and stuff like that. Tonight they go up against Ohtani though. His first start of the year.
Honestly, though, dude, I gotta say, I'm really not impressed. I'm gonna get into this. I actually wanted to talk to you about post WBC effects and how it has on players right now. So we're gonna get into that. But to talk about the Guardians here and just Chase Stillwater specifically, he's gonna be a stud.
Yeah,
if he can stay healthy, he's gonna be a stud.
So trailing into that, I started off with our 2024 number 1 overall pick, which is Travis Bazzana. What is the deal with Major League Baseball, and for a guy like him not to be moved up? Do you think it's more strategery when it comes to, like I said, that strategery around his roster spot, or not his roster spot, but his arbitration and team control, or is it more so that they don't think he's ready?
It's a little bit of both.
Because the Guardians play this game all the time. There's been quite a few guys that we might have brought up a year too late and we missed out on something. We've always needed a bat. He seems more of a power guy, which we'll talk about that 2024.
I mean,
class.
Bazana, I'll get on my soapbox here. You're looking at Bazana, who's hit 400 in college and can whack the absolute brakes off a baseball.
Yeah, I want to say he's
hit for contact.
Record for home runs in college? Or was that the other dude? That might have been Collins. I can't remember.
I think so. I don't really remember all of his records and accolades, but he's won a shit ton of them. He hit 400 in college at Oregon State, sorry. It's just insane. I mean, he hits for power. He's got great speed. His defense is the weakest thing. His arm, per se, is weak. I mean, he's only 6 foot, 199.
Is he going to be a DH or
no?
He's second base. He's second base.
He's going to play the field.
Yeah.
Now, the reason that sometimes teams won't move players up as fast as they want to is because minor league baseball, the gap between them is like the gap between the WWE and the UFC in terms of actual fighting skill. So in terms of baseball skill, you could put the worst major leaguer in AAA and he could be a stud. He could hit 300 with a shit ton of home runs, or he could flare out.
Right.
The same thing. The jump is so significant. It's like taking like a half a step, like a quarter step, half step, a full step, and then a leap.
Right.
Because, you're going from single A. Okay, you take your half step to double A, you take your full step to triple A, take your leap to the major leagues.
Yeah, and I would imagine
most
guys that are taken inside the top 10 of that first round are guys that could really essentially skip at least single A and probably only spend a little bit of time.
It depends on how aggressive your guys' farm system is and the philosophy behind the guys that are trying to really like player personnel, guys that are in charge of the development of these players. Some guys like the Oakland Athletics, they just, hey, Nick Kurtz, yeah, you played 15, 20 games in minor league baseball. Sure. Go play first base.
Bring him up, and then he wins Rookie of the Year.
Yeah. Whereas the Guardians, they have guys that have been in AAA for 3 seasons.
Yeah.
I mean, it's ridiculous. And they don't want to give up on guys because if somebody else picks them up, tweaks some things, and fixes them, they pretty much just got to play.
We just talked about it during the WBC, right? A prospect that they let go that ended up being the number 2 overall prospect in baseball right now.
Junior Caminero.
Right.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I can imagine that's tough to beat. And I mean, we went through a point in time when it was the Indians, and we're going to get in, shout out to our future segment, Top 5. We're going to get into our favorite baseball players of our lives. Mine's a top 5. Ed had to be difficult and wanted to call it.
I picked the 5th player. I picked the 5th player.
Okay.
I picked the 5th player.
I wanted to change the subject to the Mount Rushmore. Guys Night Mount Rushmore. So, okay. Either way.
It's such a pandering pick, but it's true.
When you have the 90s tribe, though, there was players that we lost to having to get rid of them because we didn't have space to bring them up. You talk about Richie Sexson, Brian Giles. Like, these were talented outfielders that, in a first baseman, that when we traded Richie Sexson, I think he ended up on the Reds batting like 400 for 3 or 4 seasons after we traded him. So we were so stacked with talent, especially in the hitting lineup, and we had a team full of veterans that you weren't going to replace. Albert Bell, Manny Ramirez, Jim Thome, Omar Vizquel, Kenny Lofton. Like,
the list goes on.
The team was so stacked. I saw a thing the other day. How did this team not win 3 World Series? It's like one of the absolute crying shames of baseball.
I think Secret Base on YouTube even did like a whole documentary of the dynasty that never won.
Yeah, I mean, it's
one of the greatest teams. The greatest dynasty to never win anything together.
Well, we totally Cleveland that thing up. No, Jay Cleve, I did not feed the dogs. Shout out to my wife for her comments. I did not feed the dogs. So thanks for listening.
It's funny.
And commenting. Make sure you like and share.
Get yourself a supportive wife.
So, yeah, we've seen those prospects that we had to let go or had to like get out of the series. So what is the benefit of keeping somebody like Bazana down there for, whatever it is?
Let him develop.
And just let him soak it up. And what position? He's a second baseman. Yeah. So who's the second baseman right now in the Guards?
Brian Rocchio.
Okay. So Rocchio, obviously a World Series favorite from 2 years ago or 3 years ago, I should say, right? Wasn't Rocchio part of that World Series team?
What are you talking about?
What do you
They
mean?
haven't been to the World Series in 10 years.
Has it been that long?
Yes.
Why is Brian Rocchio, was he on that team?
No,
Against the Cubs?
he was 16 years old.
I don't even know where that came from.
Bro, what are you talking about?
I don't know, dude.
Now, the meme that went around a couple years ago was playoff Rocchio because he went absolutely ape shit in the playoffs and he played great.
Maybe I just tied the two together. I don't.
You're going nuts.
God, was
dude.
the last time they were in the World Series? That Cubs game was 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Man, what a great time to be a baseball.
Dude, summer 2016. It's funny. Okay, I'm gonna get on my soapbox here.
From the freaking
summer 2016. It's the greatest time on the planet by far and away.
Yeah.
Okay. The greatest music, the greatest weather, the greatest.
Whoa. Not music. Let's be real.
Okay. This is a generational thing. So let me do what I need to do real quick.
Right,
okay.
right.
The best music, the best vibes, the best weather, the best ever. If you were 14 to 18 years old you know what, honestly, 14 to maybe even 25 years old in summer 2016, you had the time of your life. Okay, you can ask your wife. She was at that point. It was the greatest time ever.
I was living my life back then. I was at Game 7. Well, I wasn't at Game 7. I was downtown for Game 7 that year for the Cavs championship. I did not end up going to the World Series. My buddy did. I watched it from a bar and had a great time. So yeah, I mean, that was a hell of a fucking year for Cleveland sports. The Browns were, I think, 1-16 actually that year. If I'm,
you mean 1-15? Was
that the 1-15 year?
Yeah,
I don't know. Either way,
the Christmas miracle.
We totally Cleveland up that Cleveland summer.
It was the best summer. It was the best summer ever. The Cavs won. The Indians were playing great.
Yeah,
I missed the Cavs championship celebration. Parade. Yeah, I had to start my job. That was the first day I started. Was that parade day?
Oh wow!
Yeah, I couldn't call off. What was I supposed to do?
Dude, when the Cavs won that championship, me and my buddy were downtown. We walked around downtown till 6 a.m. I drove home, changed, and went to work at 7:30. And I didn't do shit all day. All I wanted to go do is go back downtown.
That's funny.
Like, it was an epic night.
That's funny. But no. So the reason you keep a guy down there, again, it's for growth. It's for that purpose. Now, when it comes to arbitration manipulation and stuff like that, there's a certain point in the season, I think it's actually in like the end of May, where
it's like after the All-Star game.
No. It's before that, to the point where it doesn't even count as their next year, like because they can't physically get a full year of games in until for them to qualify as a 1 year, like as their first official 1 year service time. So it's all service time manipulation. It's all type of math type of stuff. I mean, you have 6 years with the guy, you know, as in his first 6 year, to figure it out.
Did I just see a couple of contracts that were rookie contracts get out to like 8 years, $100 million?
That's your post rookie contract. I mean, you can get you can get a 13-year long contract. I mean, look at Ronald Acuna.
Yeah.
He signed an 8-year, $100 million contract after he was, I mean, I want to say he was only like 18, 19 years old.
Wow.
He was also an international player as well. So he didn't have to go through that whole process. But yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. I mean, contracts are going to get crazier and crazier with the MLB. I don't know how they're going to change things up and how they're going to do stuff. But overall, to get in the Guardians here, Chase Slaughter is his only hope. I want to tell you this really quick. Okay. I want you to understand this really quick. I'm going to break this down from the actual meaning perspective. So when I talk about OPS plus, it's talking about, it's a baseball statistic that normalizes a player's OPS. So all it talks about is it measures a hitter's overall production, focusing on their ability to reach base and hit for power relative to their peers. So on the scale of how they measure these players, 100 is league average. Okay, so if you're at a 125 OPS plus, you're 25% better than average. A 75% or 75 OPS plus, you're 25% worse.
Okay.
So I want you to, now again, this is overreaction season, but I want you to understand this. These are the OPS pluses of this team currently. Chase Slaughter leads this team at 292, meaning he's 192% better than an average hitter.
Okay.
Rhys Hoskins is next at 272. David Fry is at 173 or 137. Brian Rocchio at 113. Okay. Now you get down to where these this is why this team absolutely stinks and I hate them. Daniel Schneemann, a career utility man, 58 OPS plus. He is 42% worse than the average MLB hitter. Stephen Kwan, 36. He is 64% worse than an average hitter.
Ouch.
Jose Ramirez at 22. Now, I don't really care personally what Jose Ramirez's OPS plus is because he's going to somehow turn the season around and make it the best season he's ever had.
Sure.
Angel Martinez, 21. Here's where it gets really fucked up and bad. Kyle Manzardo is negative 12. He is 112% worse than a league average hitter.
Wow.
CJ Kafis, negative 15. He is 115% worse than the league average hitter. Bo Naylor, negative 24. And finally, Gabriel Arias, negative 42.
So what are we're talking about the current state of the roster, right? And where they stand.
Listen,
4 games in, 5 games in.
Yes, to put this into perspective, to be 142% worse than an average hitter, I mean, you are the single worst at your position.
But at that point, anybody could start off the season 0 for 9 and be at that same level.
I'm glad you mentioned that because I actually wanted to tailor right into this topic of pre and post MLB or WBC.
Pre and post WBC?
Post WBC, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Sorry, got a little too excited there. So, what do you think Ohtani's currently batting right now?
If I had to guess, I'd say he's probably batting like 315.
$125.
Wow.
Okay. What about Bryce Harper?
I mean, fucking Bryce Harper didn't bat for shit in the fucking World WC, so he's probably like a 150 hitter.
Oh no, worse. 0.91.
And he's not 140% low, worse than the average hitter.
Oh, it gets better. It gets better. What about Alex Bregman?
No idea.
231. That's bad.
Yeah.
It's above the Mendoza line, but it's bad. Aaron Judge.
Oh, he's probably batting 200.
$154. Good luck. Gunnar Henderson.
200.
0.083. And you want to know who's on it? And that's the worst. You want to know the best?
Yeah.
Our boy Bobby Witt.
Yeah.
364 batting average.
Yeah, Bobby Witt's just fucking ridiculous.
Roman Anthony, 308 batting average. Ernie Clement, 308 batting average.
Is Witt in where's Witt? Yeah, he's not in Colorado.
No, Kansas City.
Kansas City, that's right. I'm sorry, dude. When it comes to other Major League Baseball, I have a hard time watching the Guardians for 180 games. In fact, I just started calling the Guardians like 3 weeks ago.
It'll be the Indians. I don't care what absolutely anyone thinks or cares. Okay, they're going to be the Indians. And yeah, that's pretty much all I had for you. Oh, I got this one for you. Guess my favorite player, Mike Trout.
Yeah,
guess what he's hitting?
Yeah,
462.
I just saw
2 homers, 6 RBIs. Leads the league in games, plate appearances, walks, and OPS and on base percentage.
You don't even have the biggest stat in there. I think he has 3 stolen bases in 1 game.
The vintage Trout right there.
Yeah,
a 1573 OPS. Okay, that is insane.
I just saw the other day that like if this is officially Trout coming back from injury and he's healthy, like this is the best thing for baseball. This is the
best.
Yeah.
This is the best. You're gonna watch the greatest player ever play. Oh, this is so great. Baseball needed this. The baseball gods tainted his prime. They fucked his prime. And you know what now? He's back.
Yeah, I hope so.
Back.
Let's hope that he stays healthy, knock on wood, and all that other good stuff. Because I'd love to see, well, man, I hate California as far as most of it goes, but California baseball right now is just going to be awesome between watching Mike Trout, Shohei, like good for.
How much do you realistically know about baseball overall?
Like, what do you mean know about it?
Just know statistics, more or less.
I mean, after like 99, probably very little.
Okay. So OPS is a measurement scale of like how an overall player is doing.
Yes.
So anytime you look at that, you may not, this is even for the listeners. Anytime you're looking at OPS of a player, don't look at batting average. Don't look at their home runs or anything like that. Look at their OPS because that's ultimately going to tell you kind of where they're at with things. So I think of it like a grading scale, literally a grading scale. 1,000 OPS and over is A++ baseball. Okay. And obviously you can do the math here, 900, still great. 800, hey, it's good. It's great.
So is it like a B or a C?
Yeah, it's a B.
Okay.
And then you get into the 700s of things and you're like,
a C average.
Okay, it's it's about where a normal MLB player should be at right there. And then and there. You get below the 600s. Oh God, this is terrible. 500, absolute god awful. So think of when you see OPS.
Yeah. What does OPS stand for?
So I believe it's on base plus slugging.
Okay.
So it takes the overall.
Oh, so it's literally an overall from your on base percentage.
You take your on base percentage and your slugging percentage. You combine those two numbers together, and that is what gives you your OPS.
Oh, so it's not even a percentage. It's just a number based off of your two averages. Or
yeah, but that also gives you the indication of like, okay, this player is getting on base and hitting for power, hitting for contact outside of just getting a single.
Gotcha.
So yeah, think of it like that. Think of it like a grading scale. So whenever, because batting average is so skewed, it's not everything it says it is, because you could be a 300 hitter and still have a terrible OPS.
Well, speaking of being a terrible hitter and having a 300 EPS or OPS, this has absolutely nothing to do with any of that. But
joy.
The Cavaliers are in the playoffs. They're about to start. There's 7 games left in the season, I think. Yeah, they're the 4 seed. So I got a little. Give me 1 minute while I pull this up. But come on, Will, think faster than this.
Come on.
I've got the playoff. Oh, at least I thought I had it.
Are we going back to Ed sacrifices this week?
Yes, we're definitely doing that. I've got some good ones for you. So I've got the playoff bracket. Now, the reason I wanted to pull this up, and those for your listeners, the Cavs right now are in the 4th seed, but they're a game behind the Knicks, who have the 3rd seed.
Okay.
So when you look at it from here on out, it'll be interesting to see how the Cavs play this out, because realistically, I would much rather get to play Detroit before having to go to Boston.
Don't even need to say anything more. I completely agree. I don't want to play Boston. I cannot stand that team, that stadium, whatever. I don't want to play them.
It's just at the same point in time, though. Like, the idea that the Knicks are in Boston and the Boston are in the same side of the bracket is so beneficial to us, because I think those are the 2 teams we play the worst against.
Oh, 100%. Like, I think the Cavs almost need to purposely figure out the math 100%. Equation to make sure that they don't.
I'm not even sure that the Knicks aren't doing that.
I would lose. I'd go to the 5th seed. I would still continue to lose, even if that meant to stay away from that bracket.
But you want the home field.
Again, I don't care though. I don't care though. Okay, you're in Detroit. If you're playing them, you're not. I mean, you're. This is still kind of home and court.
Well, you're not getting home field against Detroit either way. They're the 1st seed. What is your opinion though when you look? Because this is the part of it that I hate, and I hate how literally the whole freaking NBA makes it to the playoffs with this play-in tournament shit. What is your opinion on the new playoff tournament, the play-in tournament?
I like
the
it.
9th and the 10th seed get a shot to go to the playoffs. Like, you're talking about 20 teams out of 32,
30,
I don't know,
like that.
2/3 of the league gets to make the playoffs, dude. I don't even like.
I love your eyes. They just write like 2/3. Like, you just
that's ridiculous. Like, even if you take the average mark, like the middle of the road and above, like that is way too many teams, dude. But I like the way that
no, you're fine. It's something you're doing. I don't mean to get you off your tangent here, but I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm interrupting you here over something stupid. Go on.
What is it?
Well,
you got to pee?
Yeah, of course.
Go ahead. Go pee. I'll tangent this shit up on my own. Good.
Sorry. I couldn't hold it.
I got a bathroom break. All right. For you guys that are still listening, it's just me as going to take a leak. But yeah, the idea that, a 9 or a 10 seed in a conference or in basketball, which is already at the point where they're taking half the season anyway. Once they decide that they're not in it, they're sitting their players or resting their players. I mean, if you watch the teams that are in the bottom quarter of the league, it's disgusting just to watch the idea of play. The fact that they're coming up with rules for the NBA to prevent tanking just once again proves that the best thing that they could do is get rid of this play-in tournament. I know it's exciting if you have a team that's on the cusp. Shoot, if we're in the NFL, yeah, maybe it'd be awesome to see the Browns on the cusp. Go ahead and get in. But the idea that this is good for baseball or for basketball is an absolute joke. I'm with the consensus here. I think the Cavs need to roll this thing out and stay in that 4th seed. The idea that they could go through Detroit before having to go through either Boston or New York is a much bigger benefit to our team. It's good to see that Evan Mobley played well. I think last night he had like 37 points, 14 rebounds. Hey, Ed's back. What's up, everybody?
What's up? What up? Yeah, I saw Evan Mobley play last night. He played really, really good. This is the fun time of the year where I honestly think teams start actually turning it up a notch and playing the defense, actually going out there and making plays. And
yeah, I think you have to, right? Like, you have to get ready, because eventually it's kind of like the NFL. I mean, you look what happens. Like, think about that year that we sat like Flacco and everybody before we went to the playoffs down in Houston, and we laid a fat egg. And it's like every time that happens, you always think to yourself, like, did we take the brakes off? It's like playing prevent defense to end the season. Like
you're not playing to win. You're
playoffs.
What is it? You're not playing to win. You're playing not to lose.
Yeah.
Is that the saying?
It's just it's disgusting basketball. And I was just saying to our listeners here, it's like the idea of the play-in tournament is such a joke because at this point, if you're like the 10th seed, are you even trying to win to get into the playoffs, or are you hoping that you tank enough to get into the lottery? And tanking is so bad in the NBA right now that they're actually trying to create rules to prevent
like
tanking.
Anti-tanking.
Did you see some of the rules?
I haven't paid it too much attention.
Let me see if I can pull those up and I'll share those with those listening. But yeah, when you're a league commissioner and you have to literally come up with ways for your team not to here, we'll share screen. Here we go. We'll share the screen that I was working. Potential NBA anti-tanking rules.
You still realize that they can't. Oh no, they can't see.
Yeah, they can see it. All right. So from freezing lottery odds at the trade deadline, banning teams from picking the top 4 in consecutive years. I'm trying to think. Here we go. All right. Presents 3. All right.
This is not a paid ad. We are not sponsored by this 4 letters.
All right. In the first proposal, 18 teams, the bottom 10s that miss the play-in tournament and 8 teams that qualify will be part of the draft lottery. The bottom teams all will have an equal 8% chance of moving up in the lottery, with the remaining 20% of the odds being split amongst the 8 play-in teams in descending order from 11th through 18th. In the second proposal, 22 teams, the bottom 10 teams that miss the play-in tournament, the 8 that qualify for it, and 4 playoff teams that lose in the first round will all be included in the lottery and will be ranked according to their record across 2 seasons. The last part, weighting teams by their record across prior 2 seasons, how's the WNBA? Oh, great. We're going to follow what women do. Under that system, each team would need to reach a minimum win total floor in each season to mitigate the need to lose every game possible. For example, if the minimum floor for an individual season is 20 wins, a team that went 14-68 would be 20-62 for lottery purposes. And if a team wins 40 games one season and 20 games the next, it would go in as a 30-win team.
Right, they're making this way too fucking complicated.
Dude, tell me about it. Hold on, there's one more.
Oh my God.
The third proposal is a 5x5 method. This one, the same 18 teams from the first concept, so the bottom 10 teams that missed the playoff plus the 8 that would make it, would be entered into a lottery. The teams would, with the 5 worst records, would then all have the same odds. And then descending from there would be a lottery drawing for each of the top 5 picks in the draft. After those 5 picks are selected, there would be another lottery drawing for the remaining 13s. If any of those teams with 5 worst records didn't land one of those top 5 spots, like last season when the teams with the first, Jazz, Wizards, second, and fourth worst records all moved back to 5th, 6th, and 7th, the lowest they could wind up in the lottery drawing would be 10th, preventing a bad team from falling too far down the draft board. Over the next several weeks, owners are expected to discuss the detailed. Holy crap. The idea that you have to create this kind of rules in order to prevent your teams.
My head hurts.
What's going to happen to the NFL this year?
My head hurts.
Dude, the way that they're talking about it, we should do a special just on the 2027 NFL draft class for quarterbacks, just because it's so great. At least it looks that way on paper. Like, I am generally excited to watch college football next year, but how many teams are going to take this season? I could think of at least 3.
I mean, you have the Dolphins, you have the Cardinals.
Are the Dolphins going to tank? Why did they go sign Malik Willis? God,
it's the most confusing move ever.
I don't think the Dolphins are going to tank.
Yes, they will.
They're not going to tank.
They're going to tank.
Then why would you sign? Okay, either way,
because
you're not tanking for a quarterback. You might just suck.
Okay, yeah.
Tanking, I think, will be the Jets.
Being purposely bad is the Jets,
the Cardinals,
the Browns.
I don't think the Browns are going to be purposely bad. I think they're going to screw themselves and win 7 games.
I know, and that's the biggest thing that's going to happen.
The only way I'll be okay with them winning 7 games is Shedeur Sanders throws for 4,000 yards and like 40 touchdowns.
Well, then they're going to have more than 7 games. Or
there you go.
More than 7 wins.
But yeah, I mean, they could get to the point. It could get pretty nasty this year. Depending on
brother, I don't know. I don't know what Adam Silver clearly has.
Raul Havana signed Johnny Manziel. Dude, we tried, man. He is not into the Cleveland City. If you haven't heard him recently,
he thrashed the brakes off of us.
He pretty much hates us.
The feeling's mutual. No matter how many Johnny Manziel jerseys I had, no matter how many times my iPhone background was him with the money sign. No.
All right, Ed. Let's move on from the NBA and move into March Madness. There is one team still standing from our bracket.
Yeah, we fell from grace a little bit.
Yeah, it was a heart breaking.
From the last time that we updated to right now, give us an update as to how things were going.
All right, so we had Duke.
Why did we not put this on a picture and put this up here so everybody could see it with us?
Because it's way more fun to talk our way through.
Fair enough.
And the way that it's done online is so hard to actually like look at it all.
Could I also get my copy?
Yeah, it's the same copy.
I understand. Well, can I not look at it?
It's in my office.
Whatever. Go on.
Anyhow. We had Duke.
Purposely difficult.
We had Duke versus Kansas. We had South Florida versus UConn, which obviously South Florida didn't win, and obviously Kansas didn't win. But we did pick UConn versus Duke, so we were doing pretty well.
Yeah, we were.
Okay, and we picked UConn to win. So shout out to the UConn Huskies for pulling off that unbelievable
Braylon
finish,
Mullins,
dude. Not even a Mullins. Who is the? Was it Karabin, the senior that hit the shot before that? Who was 2 for 15, I think, before.
I don't remember.
Dude, he was 2 for 15 for the night, and he smashed that 3 that made it 70 to 69 or whatever.
Yeah, because it laid in, and then they inbounded it, threw it back, did a couple passes. Was that Cameron or Caden that gave the ball? Like, dude, all you had to do was hold the ball.
Boozer looks so bad.
There's Cameron or Caden. There's 2 of them.
Oh God, you're right. Well, either way, they looked like Carlos when they were out there because they were terrible. They were literally responsible for 3 of the turnovers at the end of the game. Whichever Boozer with the fro was handling the ball.
Yeah.
Made 3 terrible mistakes. The turnover on the far side that led to them going down and going to the free throw line. And then the pass, obviously, that
I don't think people realize they were down by 21.
Yeah. 15 at half. Still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were down to 21 at the most. And then all of a sudden they turned it around. I was so shocked. I was sitting there with my dad. I was sitting at the kitchen counter and I look at him and I go, UConn's going to hit this bang game winner. And he hits it. And I just start. I'm like, holy shit. No way. Let's freaking go. Like,
that was an awesome shot, man.
Great shot.
Shout out to Duke, or to UConn, I should say. All right. So
shout out to Duke for choking.
Yeah, for real. For keeping us alive in the bracket. Because we got UConn winning this whole thing.
Yeah.
All right. The next one we had was Iowa versus Vanderbilt, which was Iowa versus Nebraska. And then we had North Carolina versus Houston, which was Illinois versus Houston. We had Houston moving on against Vanderbilt.
That did not
Neither
happen.
of those teams made it.
I can't believe Houston lost. I didn't even hear about them losing. It's just like, oh yeah,
it was like a close game the whole time. And then I looked up and they were down by I think 7 or 8 with like a minute to go.
Michigan spanked the absolute brakes off of Tennessee.
Dude, we had Michigan getting upset by Georgia in this.
Boy, were we dead wrong. It's going to be Michigan, UConn.
Yeah, I think so too.
I really hope it's UConn.
I do too. It'd be fucking awesome for us to pick it. But we did have Tennessee going all the way. So we had Georgia beating Alabama beating Georgia, which it was Alabama versus Michigan. Michigan won that. And then we had Tennessee versus Tennessee State. Tennessee winning and going against Bama. It ended up being Tennessee versus Michigan, which they got the brakes beaten off of them.
Dude, I'm telling you this right now. It was one of the worst games I've ever seen.
Yeah.
I mean, it was an ass. I mean, it looked like a first-round game.
Other than the Duke game, honestly, with UConn, most of these games were 10-point games for most of the game. And even Duke looked like it was going to be a blowout to start. All right, and then up top, we had Arizona versus Arkansas, winner. And then we had Gonzaga versus Purdue, which was wrong because who did Purdue play? They lost, right?
Yeah.
I don't remember who they lost to. But we had Arizona.
This is bad.
But we had Arizona, and we picked Purdue over Arizona, and Arizona ended up winning in the Final Four. And then so we got 1 out of 4 teams in the Final Four. But the team that we have winning it all. So shout out to us and all our future success.
Oh, dude, they lost to Arizona.
Who did?
Purdue.
Oh, Purdue did make it to Arizona.
Yeah.
Oh, shoot. Okay, so we did have that right.
I'm sorry. I don't know why that game drew a complete blank.
Yeah,
I watched Arizona beat Purdue.
Yeah, you know what? I even haven't checked off here. So, yeah, Purdue and Arizona. So,
sorry, guys. Our notes were off.
We had Purdue winning, though. That's the problem.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah, so, I mean, obviously, we're winding down. The Final Four starts, Thursday?
Yep.
And then championship game is Sunday night?
No.
Saturday night?
No, it should say on there.
It should.
It should say the date. It's Monday. It's the 6th.
It actually does say that. Yeah, April 6th.
Yeah. It's always on. It's never going to be on a weekend.
I mean, I didn't watch every single game. You know, it's the hard part of having a job and like doing all these other things.
Guys, I want you guys to understand something. Me and Will, I work as a traveling vendor. He works in cybersecurity. In no way, shape, or form throughout our days are we allowed to just magically whip out our phones and start streaming on meth streams, 1, 2, 3 movies, or crack streams, the games.
Yeah, it's been a struggle, especially trying to prep for the show and get all the stuff ready for you guys. So hopefully,
on top of the fact that you have a new kid,
on the way, not here yet. So please make sure you guys like, subscribe, share the channel. We're trying to grow the Guys Sports Night. I'd love to do this more full time. We'd love to have you on and be part of the show. If you want to join us virtually, if you want to join us here in studio, just message us sports@guysnightwithak.com. So what was your overall thoughts as far as the March Madness tournament so far? I mean, obviously there's some big shots. You talk about the Kentucky game, you talk about the Duke UConn game. But overall, I think the average defeat was by more than 15 points, double digits, not as many close games.
Yeah.
Didn't really have a Cinderella team this year. That drug it on. Tennessee, I guess so, huh? Because Texas was 11, but you know when we talk about
it's kind of just a meh March Madness.
I mean, there's some great plays. We talked about there was only one walk-off championship game shot, right? So maybe we'll get one of those this year. The Final Four are the best 4 teams in the country, though. You can absolutely say that.
I mean, yeah.
Like
if they make it there, you have to.
Well, no, I'm saying like they've been the best teams all year. I mean, we had 3 number 1 seeds.
Who's there right now? It's UConn, Michigan. Who else is over there?
Yeah, you got Arizona 1 seed, Michigan 1 seed, and then you've got
UConn.
Sorry, I'm trying to remember who beat you. Illinois was a 3 seed.
Oh,
right. Is Illinois the other one? Yeah, Illinois. Yeah, they beat. So, either way, exciting season. We'll see what happens.
I mean, you know what? I'm not. There are going to be years where ultimately, like, it's going to be great. It's going to be super fun to watch. And no, they start Saturday. The game starts Saturday.
Gotcha. Well, Alabama broke our bracket. We could have really had a good year if Alabama already got.
It is what it is. It is what it is, man.
Ahead, but what are you going to do? All right, so we're going to wrap this episode up here. And obviously, before we do that, we have to go into what we consider our top 5. So without further ado, I welcome you to the Guys Night Top 5. Yes, love it. Let's do it one more time. So tonight we wanted to kind of do something a little bit different. You had the idea this week, Ed, for top 5 baseball players. I think you kind of did it as an all-time, and then I said, well, you know what? Let's do it as top 5 of our lifetimes.
Yeah, and then I asked you again as the show started all-time, and you go, yeah.
No, of your time, just of all time, as far as your top 5 favorite baseball. Okay. Top 5 favorite baseball players.
All right,
they could be playing now. They could be playing 20 years ago.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, they could be playing during your lifetime.
Okay.
That's all right. So number 5, and I'm going to go from like the least, least favorite, I guess you would say. Number 5, you're going to laugh, Julio Franco.
Okay.
Now,
it's a solid player.
Julio Franco, the only reason he was on my top 5 is I adopted his batting stance my sophomore year, and I hit 400.
Okay.
I'm talking, if you haven't seen Julio Franco's batting stance, he basically had like 2 fingers on the bottom of the bat.
I don't remember this. I got
cocked up over his head, and he kind of hit like this. And the drop down and swing through was about the longest motion ever.
Oh yeah.
So, but the dude hit like 30 to 40 home runs every year. He's a 300 hitter. He was one of those guys that was on the later versions of the Tribe as a kind of like at the end of his career type guy.
Did you ever see Kevin Youkilis's batting stance?
No, but I know I might have actually, because he had something very similar, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, similar. Yeah. But yeah, Julio Franco was my number 5. My number 4, this was a tough one because I as far as, oh God.
Can you see with those terrible eyes?
Well, no, I'm trying to think of where I want to put my number 4. So my number 4 is Darryl Strawberry.
Okay. He's a good player.
I mean, I grew up in the 80s in Southern California. The Dodgers were it. I mean, that was when you had Strawberry. Eric Davis was like my other favorite player at that time. Earl Hershiser. there was just being a Dodgers fan was what everything in California at that point.
Being a Dodgers fan all the time is great.
Well, they had their time. Don't get me wrong. I should have put Tommy Lasorda on my list, actually.
Wow, what a pull. Tommy Lasorda. Wow.
That was my era of Dodgers baseball, dude. Mike Piazza,
fuck, you're old.
dude. Man.
Holy fuck, you're old.
Yeah, so Darryl Strawberry, dude, if it wasn't for the Coke, that dude could have played some solid baseball.
That man loved his nose candy.
Yes, he traveled quite a bit. I remember, I think at one point he was with the Mets, the Yankees.
Yeah.
I collected his cards no matter where he went. I was a Darryl Strawberry fan.
Yeah.
Number 3 is going to be Nolan Ryan, dude. The Ryan Express.
Okay, the
man.
Ryan Express.
Dude, when you were a kid, it didn't matter where you were from. He was like, everybody that pitched wanted to be Nolan Ryan.
Now, what's your favorite memory of Nolan Ryan? Because I have one. I genuinely have one.
I'm trying to remember. It was like a fight when he was with the Houston Astros. I don't know why it sounded like it was going to be a different name or something. But I want to say it was. I remember him with the blue because they had the orange stripe that went across the middle.
You're talking about when he hit Robin Ventura. He stormed the mound, and Robin Ventura. He's a rookie at that time. I remember writing an article on this. Nolan Ryan is in the last portion of his career. He's on his farewell tour,
right?
And he fucking drills Ventura right in the side, and he eats it. And he's like, you know what? Fuck this old guy. Flips his bat, starts running out there, and he goes in. And he goes in to tackle him, and all of a sudden you just see just the meme of
hold on a sec. I'm gonna pull it up right here so everybody can kind of just see this play.
Here's Ventura, RBI single in the first. Watch out.
Just drills him right at the top of the shoulder.
Look at that.
Come after Nolan Ryan? No, look at him. He's like, get out of here.
He gets a 10 shots off.
Whoa. That man is protecting his third. Do you even know what you're doing?
Yeah, Nolan Ryan is in his 40s.
Yeah, there. Dude. I mean, that is
and
definitely
Robin Ventura's in there at like in his 20s.
Dude, Nolan Ryan was awesome. First player to strike out 20. Maybe it wasn't the first, but I definitely remember his 20 strikeout game. But yeah, dude. I mean, Nolan Ryan was just the beast. Every time you wound up and practiced on your pitch back in the backyard, dude.
Did you ever see the video of him when he was like he ended up throwing out the first pitch? He still has that gas.
Did you watch the documentary? I want to say that came out last year on him. I didn't
even know there was a documentary.
Yeah, I want to say it was like on Amazon or something like that. But
I don't have Amazon Prime.
Yeah, it was called the Ryan Express, and they did the story on him and stuff like that. But yeah, dude, for sure. And you know what? I should have put this name at the bottom, but he kind of made his way towards the top. And this is only because he's got me into baseball again. Is Shohei Ohtani.
Okay.
I love the fact that this dude can pitch with the best of them, hit with the best of them.
Yeah.
It makes baseball fun to watch. The game's at 10 o'clock tonight. I'll watch it. I'll watch it because I just want to see it. Him do it. I want to see how the Tribe does again. Or the Tribe, there I go again. I want to see how the Guardians do against him. But it makes baseball fun to watch. Just, whenever you have somebody in sports that's like kind of rewriting the rule book as far as what you don't have to be DH'd for because you're a better hitter than you are a pitcher. You can still go out there and throw a no-hitter. It's possible at any time you take the mound. So
I actually think that's the only thing he's never done.
It's probably, you're right. He hasn't thrown a no-hitter. I know that.
I don't think so.
And then my favorite baseball player of all time, for anybody that knows me, will forever and always be Kenny Lofton, dude.
Such a great player.
My first memory of Kenny Lofton is I wasn't even moved to Ohio. Actually, I think we just moved to Ohio. We hadn't even moved. No, we didn't even move to Ohio yet. We were visiting here with my uncle. And it was like the year that Jake just opened.
Okay, so like the 93s?
Yeah, it would have been like 93, I think.
Okay.
Rainy kind of day, like not like a hard rain, but just like the constant drizzle, where like the chalk lines are raised up about a half inch.
Yeah.
And Kenny Lofton lays down this perfect bunt down the third baseline. And you know how it is, like when there's a bunt that's on the foul line, like the whole team is just trying to like hope that it goes foul. Like the pitcher's there, the third baseman's there, the catchers, they're all standing. And Kenny Lofton ran to third base on a triple inside the freaking infield bunt, dude. It was the coolest thing. Maybe it was second base. I thought it was third base, but it was the coolest thing ever. And from that day on, I was like, I'm diehard Kenny Lofton fan.
Yeah.
Like, I remember him stealing home when I didn't even think that was like a thing. I mean, Ricky Henderson did it a couple of times too, but yeah, so I was number 7 all through my baseball career.
Okay.
But that's my top 5, Ed. So,
Okay.
Yeah, Julio Franco, Darryl Strawberry, Nolan Ryan, Shohei Ohtani, and Kenny Lofton. So let's hear yours because you're a tad bit younger than me.
It's pretty easy for me. It goes Mike Trout, Randy Johnson, Tim Lincecum, Jose Ramirez, Josh Donaldson.
Okay.
So all 5 of them
memories of any
all
of them?
5 of them hold very, very special memories in my heart. I like Josh Donaldson because he is a scrappy asshole baseball player that I really, really like. He was a dog in Toronto. And when he came to Cleveland, I loved it. Something about him of just like, I don't take no shit from nobody attitude when he really should have fought Manny Machado when he was in Oakland and Manny was in Baltimore. That was a great series. But the Bringer of Rain, what a fucking great nickname right there.
Great nickname.
I mean, one of the best nicknames I think I've ever heard. Again, MVP type of player.
Which one of these players did you add at the last minute, if you don't mind me
Donaldson.
asking? Okay.
Donaldson for sure. Jose Ramirez goes up there as well. A hometown guy. I've never seen a better baseball player in my life that can run, hit, field, hit for power, and be a clubhouse guy like he is. He has the 5-star talents.
And a hometown guy too, right? Like we've talked about multiple times about the lowered money that he's taking.
Greatest baseball player I've ever seen with my eyes personally. And then we'll always wear that jersey. And if he ever goes anywhere else, it won't look the same. It is still weird for me to see Lindor, even almost 6 years later.
I was just going to ask you, would Lindor be on that team, on that 100%. Favorite list if he didn't 100%. Leave?
Not even a question.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think so too. For me, even.
Lindor was that.
He got me back into the Guardians when they were still the Tribe, years ago. Yeah. And then when I knew he was going to be gone with the money and fuck the Dolans for letting a guy like that leave.
100%. 100%.
Yeah.
Tim Lincecum's up there, the freak, the franchise, Tim Jam, the GOAT, one of the best pitchers ever in a short time period. The lore around his name. When you say Tim Lincecum around New York Giants, or not New York Giants, San Francisco Giants fans, and even baseball fans in general, they get it. The guy was 5'11", and he could pitch the absolute daylights out of a baseball.
Oh, I
he
remember him.
Won 2 Cy Young. I'm sorry. He won 3 World Series. He won 2 Cy Youngs. He threw 2 no-hitters against the Padres.
Wow.
I think it's him and Sandy Koufax are the only 2 players ever to throw multiple no-hitters.
I remember when he came out,
World
I didn't
Series.
realize he was so dominant in his time frame for
in
being
his,
an under
in
6 foot pitcher.
Prime, dude. I don't think you realize in his prime, he was one of the best pitchers in the entire league. His prime was one of the best ever.
San Francisco his entire career up until
when he went to the Angels and then he went to the Rangers.
Yeah, but his did he go to the Rangers?
And invite to camp, never broke roster at that point.
Yeah. I mean, he just had that stretch in the early, like late 2008, 9, 10, where he was dominant, 262, 248, 274, 343. So yeah, I could see. And then it just,
if his hips didn't take him out of baseball, he'd be one of the best to ever do it.
Wow.
Now, Randy Johnson's up there. Arguably one of the greatest players of all time. The best left-handed pitcher.
I'm surprised Randy Johnson's almost before your time, no?
62, I'm 27. Yes, he is before my time, but he still played a long time. I want to just make sure I have these notes correct here. Give me just 1 second. So he retired in 2009.
Wow.
So I was 10 years old at that time.
I didn't realize that.
The big unit. Okay. He led the league in strikeouts. I want to say this 9 times in his career.
He was dominant, dude.
Over the
he was
age
like
of 30.
6'7" or 6'8".
6'10".
Yeah.
6'10".
Just like I just remember thinking about the dive that ball had to take coming from a left-hander too.
Bro,
ridiculous.
Like I mean, imagine this. You're up at the plate and the mound away from you is 60 feet 6 inches. Randy Johnson is 6'10". I mean, it's like his cheat code. It's like he's pitching it from 50 feet away.
Dude, listen to this. From 93 at 10, 94, 9, then 6, 5, then 10, then 12. Complete games. 8. Like this dude, there was a point in time where he threw double digits.
I need to read this to you.
That's that is crazy, dude.
So let me ask you this. Let me just ask you this here really quickly because I'm going to get on this tangent.
Sucks that he was on such a terrible team that he was literally a 500
He still won a World Series. So let me ask you this. When do you see a guy's prime in sports turn like over the hill? After what age? What would you consider the prime
it
of a
depends
player?
on sport. Baseball, probably mid-30s.
Okay. I want to show you this from age 31 to 42.
Is this when he went to Arizona?
This is from the last half of his Seattle days. He went to Houston and Arizona, and then he finished out his career with the Yankees, Arizona, and then the San Francisco Giants again.
Yeah.
From 95 to 2006, 5-time Cy Young Award winner.
When is this? Oh, 95 to
95. In that time frame, he led the league in strikeouts 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times. 6 times.
Yeah.
Okay. It's disgusting. He threw 35 complete games in 3 different seasons. I'm sorry, 35 games started. Yes, you're right. Complete games 12, 8, 3, 8, 10, 5. I mean, I'm just going all over the place with here. And we're talking about an iron horse that pitched innings 271, 260, 248, 249.
You're talking about his early years in Arizona. I'm looking at those stats right now.
His early years in Arizona was when he was 37.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was just saying. I mean, that was the best baseball of his career. 2.48, 2.64, 2.49, 2.32 ERA for a starting pitcher. I mean, the only time he was better than that was in 97 at 2.28. Like, I mean, Randy Johnson was the GOAT at pitching, dude.
He is the best left-handed baseball player I have ever seen play as a pitcher. He's the big unit for a reason.
I wonder what that trade looked like between Seattle and Houston.
If you want to see a good documentary, again, Secret Base on YouTube. I don't like to give free shout outs, of course, but they did a great documentary on the whole thing, on the whole Seattle Mariners. So the last guy I have here, it's no shock. It's no question. It's not even, it really shouldn't be a shock to anybody if you followed us for a while here. Mike Trout.
Yeah.
Greatest baseball player I've ever seen play. I should have screenshotted his baseball reference page, but it's so large that I don't think it would fit actually in the screenshot itself. Give me just 1 second here. We're going to go Trouty.
Dude, real quick. Randy Johnson was traded to the Astros for prospects Freddie Garcia, Carlos Guillen, and the player to name later, which ended up being John Hollema. Because it was a contract year. He refused to sign. The Astros sought a rental pitcher, basically. In that time in the Astros, he went 10-1 in 11 starts with a 1.28 ERA. But they lost in the in the divisional series to San Diego, and then he joined Arizona after that. But dude, that is in 10-1 with a 1.2 ERA.
He's a starting pitcher.
That is stupid, dude.
In a day and age nowadays where you don't even get a chance to see a guy ever even hit 200 innings pitched anymore, this dude was lights out later in his career.
Yeah.
So, Mike Trout. Oh, Mike Trout. 3-time MVP, Rookie of the Year, 11-time All-Star, 9-time Silver Slugger, 2-time All-Star MVP, Major League Player of the Year, and the Wilson Overall Defensive Player of the Year. You want to know how many times he won MVP before the age of 30?
How many?
I could tell you. All 3 times.
Wow.
His last time he won was in 2019 when he was 27 years old. The guy is the greatest player ever. Ever. Not even a question. From 2015 to 2019, there was a stretch where he led the league in OPS, OPS plus, ROBA, RBAT plus, on base percentage. He did lead the league in strikeouts at one point, but he led the league 3 different times in walks as well. He led the league in stolen bases at one time, RBIs at one time, runs, WAR, you name it. This guy has been one of the greatest players ever.
It's crazy to think that he's been in the league for 15 years, dude.
16.
It makes me feel so fucking old.
2011 to 2020.
I mean, 2022 is really his last solid year when he had 40 home runs. Then last year he came back at 26 home runs. So, I mean,
again,
we'll
he's
see
been
what happens.
plagued.
He's off to a great start this year. Hopefully they can keep him healthy. They don't overplay him and they keep him loose. But
the guy is just the greatest player ever.
So is that your 5 or did you miss one?
That's my 5.
Who is it again?
Josh Donaldson, Jose Ramirez, Tim Lincecum, Randy Johnson, Mike Trout.
Awesome. That's a hell of a top 5.
I think Mike Trout will go down as the greatest player ever. I think if he wins one World Series and wins another MVP, no, not even a debate.
Guys, if you listened this far, appreciate it. Make sure you like, subscribe, follow. And in the meantime, make sure you tell us who your top 5 baseball players of your generation are. I mean, some of you guys might be 70, 80 years old who've got players like Babe Ruth and Joe DiMaggio and Mickey Mantle, Shoeless Joe Jackson. If you build it, they will come. You ever watch that movie?
Field of Dreams.
Yeah.
Yes. Great movie.
Great movie.
Kevin Costner.
Yeah. Back when God, he was like my age. He's so long ago. Feel old right now.
Guys, thanks for the time. Thank you for this week.
Wait a minute. Hold on a second. We're not done. Yeah, that was the guys' night top 5.
Oh,
we
I'm
have
sorry.
one more episode.
I'm sorry.
One more segment of the show. We just started this one last week, so here's the last couple of minutes. We get to do, this is what we like to call Ed's Sacrifice. Ed's
AI
sacrifices.
is disgusting. That was not me.
Yeah, it is.
That was all AI.
It is disgusting.
That's
I took
gross.
that from a picture. Anyhow, Ed, so I've got 5 in spirit. One of these is in spirit to, if you saw the beginning of the show, guys, congratulations to Dallas Drive. We had Lark Wood from the PCL, the Pro Cheer League, on earlier this year. Congratulations. Dallas Drive came back, beat Miami after the first 3 matches looked like a landslide from Miami. Awesome to see how that tournament turned out, or how that championship series turned out. That's the first championship for the PCL. So make sure you go and follow Dallas Drive, Miami Metal, Atlanta Air, and the Golden State Grit, so that you can make sure you're top of the next Pro Cheer League, kind of starting to take things by storm, giving you your kids and family an opportunity to do something different.
Love it.
But it came down to the most clutch thing ever, dude. I've got the video real quick. I'm going to show it.
Is this not Ed's sacrifices?
We're going to get into Ed's sacrifices next, but I wanted to show this. So do you remember when we talked about Bullseye, where they had to do like the 30-foot run?
Yes.
And then land in that circle, right?
Yes.
So here it is. Miami's up by 3. Atlanta has to win this event. It's a head-to-head event.
Okay.
And 3 versus 3. Miami's 3 total 24. And the first 2 for Dallas total 18.
Okay.
So she needs a 7 in order for them to win, I think, is the way it ends up being,
okay.
right? And this is the final pass for them. Boom, dude. Talk about clutch. That was the final pass of the game. Like I said, they needed a 7. She literally scores an 8. They an 8 or maybe even a 9. You can see the disappointment in Miami there. And their hero, Gabby Butler. But congratulations to Dallas Drive. That was such an exciting season. We're glad we got to be a part of it. Lark, newbie, great job of really creating a game and an environment that so many people can, take part in. And for so many of these young men and women to really continue their career in something like cheerleading. These athletes are incredible. It's great that they get to show off their talents and their hard work. We're looking to do a special episode now that the season's over, where we can actually have 3 or 4 of the athletes on, and we can kind of just talk about how that year was for them, what it was like being part of the inaugural season. Could you imagine being like part of the first pro baseball or pro NFL or pro anything season? Like,
I wouldn't know how to handle myself.
Like, just to have that as part of your history and your legacy that you get to share for the rest of your life with kids and grandkids. So I know they all think that's special, and we do too. We appreciate you guys being part of it. All right. So before we get any further, once again, this is looks just like
it's
you, bro.
so scary, dude. So scary. All right. What do you got for me?
In honor of Dallas Drive, would you date a Dallas Drive cheerleader of your choice? And as long as you are dating her, the only thing that you have to do not to end the relationship is not watch any other sport than cheer the rest of your life.
No, next question.
But you can date whichever one you want.
They're probably 14
sports.
years old now.
Not 14 years old. They're adults. They're past college.
I know. I'm just messing with you. I'm just messing with you.
All right. So
no chance.
No lifetime of being with a Dallas Drive cheerleader in exchange for sports.
No, I'd rather go date a Dallas Cowboys cheerleader and go watch football.
Well, what if you had to date a Dallas Cowboy cheerleader and you couldn't watch sports?
Well, that's not the question. That
you can only
me.
watch cheer.
I don't want to do that. I don't know how many times I have to say no. No means no, Will.
All right. Next one. If Jose Ramirez could win a World Series with the Guardians, but you had to get a full mural tattoo of Jose Ramirez smiling on your back, the entire side of your back.
Yeah.
Would you do that?
Not even a question. Yeah. No, wait. Can Jose pay for it at least? Because that's a lot of money.
It's free. Guys Sports Night's going to flip the
Sign me
bill.
up. Let's go.
Remember that, folks. If you see the Guardians win a World Series with Jose Ramirez, Ed is going to have him tattooed on his back. So if you're a tattoo shop out there and you want to do that mural, we'll be happy to put that together.
That's going to hurt like a
sponsor
bitch.
the show. All right. We had to make one a little bit awkward for you. So the Browns could win any game you wanted them to for the rest of your life. As many games as you want them to. They could never lose again. The only thing is, in order to win those games, you have to make out with the Browns quarterback.
No. Ew, bro. Fuck out of here. No. Fucking, why do you got to ask me these fucking stupid ass questions?
All right. The last one I've got for you. Would you take a pitch from Aroldis Chapman anywhere you want to take it to, but you got to take it in order to go and watch a Game 7 World Series game with the Guardians? You just got to take up to 100.
I got to take a pitch? Yeah. Oh, man.
104-mile-an-hour fastball.
That's not even... I mean, he doesn't have to hit me with that. He can hit me with... I mean, he could still hit me with
the fastball.
Yeah. Right off the thigh, please. Right where the wallet.
Probably break your freaking femur.
Smash it. Like my whole leg would be black and blue. But I mean,
to go to Game 7 to watch the Guards, I guess it'd be worth it. That was tonight's Edge Sack. Oh, tune in next week to see what Ed's willing to sacrifice in order to see Cleveland sports or his favorite players succeed in life.
I fucking hate being a Cleveland sports fan. So stupid.
Guys, for you that tuned in throughout the night, we appreciate it. For you guys that are watching shorts or any other videos that we post out, we appreciate the follow, the subscribes, the likes, the comments.
The subscriptions.
We appreciate it all, Ed.
What I'm
trying to say.
We want to just tell you that we love you and appreciate the support that you guys have for us.
Make sure you guys reach out to us if you want to be part of the show live. You can do it virtually. We can send you a link. You could join us and talk sports all night. Whatever is on the agenda, we'll make sure we get it out to you so you can be prepared for the conversation. We want this to be a sports show for the people, by the people, with the people, and we want to make a little bit of money doing it. So make sure you like, subscribe, follow, share, and do all the other stuff. In the meantime, Ed, you got anything?
No.
Good night, everybody.